Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanatha Swami Niti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gaura Katha Dhamadaya Nagara Grama Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. We welcome all of our YouTube Live listeners, our listeners over Facebook Live, and our listeners over Zoom. We welcome all of you to this final day, day 10 of the Japa Workshop. So today, before we proceed, we would like to announce and congratulate all the participants from the quiz session from yesterday. We'd like to congratulate Mother Flavia, Hari Prasad Prabhu, Anjudi, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Nutun Purohit Mataji, and her two wonderful sons, Rishikesh and Anirudh. Congratulations to all of you for participating in the quiz session from yesterday.
Can we have the slideshow, please? Yesterday we covered Bhava, the eighth process of Bhakti. And today we'll cover the ninth process, the final stage, Prema, of the process of Sadhana Bhakti. Of course, we can attain Bhava and Prema through Sadhana Bhakti or Ragava Bhakti, but Prema is today's discussions. We start with discussing the final three affirmations, 18, 19, and 20. Then we discuss about Prema Bhakti and how ultimately the glories of sharing Krishna consciousness with others. Then we discuss the 10th offense of the holy name, qualities that will help attract Krishna's mercy, different practical tips for successful japa after the 7th and 8th verse of Siksastakam, and ways of not chanting japa, finally ending with guided mantra meditation, the third part.
And of course, after this, after the guided mantra meditation, we will be requesting all of you to share your realizations from this Japa workshop. We are very, very eager to listen to all of you. So please, we request all of you to kindly share how and what was your experience with this Japa workshop.
How it helped you in improving your japa, and was there any realizations that you got while chanting japa as a result of attending this workshop? So next slide, please. We go to japa affirmations 18 to 20. 18th one is, I chant with no other motive than to render pure devotional service. This is an affirmation that we speak before the japa, so that we remind ourselves, look, I'm not doing this for any material desire, so that I'm avoiding the 8th offense, to chant, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. So instead of thinking, oh, I will not chant for material desire, I will not chant as an auspicious ritualistic activities for material benefits, we say what I will do. So this 18th affirmation is to counteract the 8th offense in a positive way, saying, I will chant with no other motive than to render pure devotional service, because that is the yearning of the soul, that ahaituki apratihata, without any hetu, without any uninterrupted apratihata and unmotivated devotional service. Then 19th, we go to I turn off my world and turn on Krishna's world when I chant my japa, which means that when I am chanting, I am forgetting about my current lifetime, just like I've forgotten about my previous lifetimes. That this life doesn't even exist this lifetime. I turn off that world. If you can imagine, you're in the middle of our life, and we turn off the lights to our happinesses and to our distresses and to our problems. Just turn off, tick, 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 and then turn on one light, where this light of your bhajan kutir, where you can see Krishna and Guru Maharajas and Srila Prabhupada. All the acharyas are there. That's the world I'm focusing on. That's where the light is on. Everything else is off, including my mind and intelligence of this particular lifetime. It's just turned off.
And then the final affirmation number 20, is I am totally dependent on Sri Guru, Sri Gaura Nityananda, Sri Radha and Krishna to be able to chant quality japa every day. So this one we are showing to Krishna that Krishna, without you, my dear Guru Maharaj, without you, Sri Gauranga Nityananda, the Panchatattva, without you, I cannot do anything on my own. Only thing I can do is this, that I can desire. Nothing else other than desire I can actually do. And you have to be merciful, my dear lordships, that please reciprocate with my sincere desire and allow me to chant, being totally dependent on all of your mercy. So here we are showing our actual helplessness, that we are indeed very, very helpless in this situation, and that we are completely depending simply on the mercy of Guru, Srila Prabhupada. We are depending on the mercy of Panchatattva and Sri Radha and Krishna. So this way we will be in the proper mood, the right attitude to continue our japa with extreme sincerity. And then the holy name reveals its complete potency to us being, manifesting upon, we'll realize that the holy name has manifested on our tongue. So this is the beauty of depending on Guru and Krishna.
Next slide, please. Then we discuss the final stage of bhakti, prema. It said the first two leaves of sadhana bhakti that is visible on the wish-fulfilling bhakti kalpalata, we had described before, right? And now it has completely blossomed. The stage of bhava has matured into prema. Next slide, please. Now the sun is fully visible. There was the ray of sunlight in bhava. Now it's fully visible, fully blossomed. The sun is shining. Next slide, please. So as we had discussed previously, that first there were two leaves of sadhana bhakti that were visible. And then many leaves came, like anubhavas, which are far smoother and softer than the first two leaves. Still, they are composed of shravana, kirtana, smarana, vandana. Suddenly, on this vine, the bhakti lata, which was just full of leaves and creepers, suddenly a flower started budding in the asakti stage. And finally, in the bhava stage, we see the flowers. At every moment, these leaves of anubhava, they expand the beauty of this vine. And the flowers of the bhava, they blossom to their ultimate potential. And then the fruit comes out. The leaves first, then buds, then flower, and now the fruit of prema has come. So as we can see the 9 processes that we went through, Shraddha, Adav Shraddha, Tatha Sadhu Sangha, Tatha Bhajana Kriya, then Anartha Nivritti. From there we go to Nishtha. ruchi, asakti, bhava, and prema. There was this cluster of buds, which is asakti, which went into flowers, and now the fruits, which is the prema. But they do not lose their original form. All these, the shraddha, has now matured into prema. What does this teach us? That the first step to love is faith. Faith is actually also a form of love. All of these stages that we are going through, these are different stages of love. Love of God, but actually, when we love God, we can love all living entities with God in the center, with Krishna in the center. So any kind of love, the first stage is faith. The difference, actually, next slide, please, if you see between bhava and prema, is that bhava softens the heart and prema softens it a little more. Absolutely. And bhava has the principle of ruchi, which means there is some taste. But prema is not just taste, it gets into a feeling of possessiveness. Now we need to qualify that, because the melting heart, prema, has two characteristics. Snigdhata, which means a melting heart, very soft heart, and mamata, which means possessiveness, mama, mine. Krishna is mine. And so these are the marginal characteristics of prema.
Now, when we say the word possessiveness, sometimes because we are so used to it because of our material conditioning, we feel possessiveness means being very selfish. Having a very selfish attitude is what possessiveness is. As we can see here, possessiveness, or is it actually love? Or possessiveness, what does it represent? Mine, yours, his, ours. All of this is all in connection to me. But that is material possessiveness. What is spiritual possessiveness? What is this prema that we are talking about? This prema is the condensed fact of bhava. When it condenses, when it, becomes more and more mature, it becomes prema, where we were first always thinking that Krishna, please allow me to be yours. Engage me to be yours. I am yours, Krishna.
Tavasmi.
Tavasmi, we say that. But in the stage of prema, we come to the fact that, yes, my dear Krishna, you are, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are there in all living entities. And at the same time, you also have a very unique relationship with me. So therefore, my spiritual possessiveness is that you are mine. Krishna, you are mine.
And at the same time, there is an understanding that you also belong to everyone else. But the relationship I have with you, no one can change that. No one can take it away. In the material world, when a parent, for example, gives more attention to one child, the other child feels left out. If our boss gives more attention to one person, the other employee feels left out, because there is limited attention that the parent can give. And now, if that attention is given to one child, that means it's taken away from the other child, and that's what the other child feels. But with Krishna, he does not have that limitation. He can completely belong to one soul. Simultaneously, he can completely belong to all the other souls as well. And so the spiritual possessiveness does not have that insecurity attached with it. Material possessiveness has an insecurity attached to it, that, oh, you are mine and I will be possessive because you can be taken away.
And I will not share you with anyone, because if I share, then I will get less of you. Rather, spiritual possessiveness means that the more we share, the more we get. That is spiritual mathematics. And that is why Srimati Radharani, she is always looking for opportunities to engage everyone in the service of Krishna. Otherwise, she is completely qualified to serve Krishna all by herself. No need for anyone else. But when there is many serving Krishna, the joy is increased, the bliss is increased. It is increased in multifolds. And then Krishna becomes ours in more and more and more completeness. That's spiritual equation. That is spiritual mathematics.
And that is Prema.
Hari Om.
Prema Bhakti ki jai.
Jai.
Next slide, please.
So here we see that the characteristics of Krishna are understood actually to be a storehouse of transcendental love, transcendental treasure trove, so to speak. Although that storehouse of love certainly came, with Krishna when he came in Dwapar Yuga. Krishna, he personally came in Dwapar Yuga. But that storehouse of love was sealed. It was locked. When Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, when he descended, along with his associates of Mahaprabhu, the Panchatattva, when they came, they broke open that seal and plundered the storehouse to taste the transcendental love of Krishna. They are, it's not that just they tasted it themselves, but it is said that Sri Panchatattva, they actually gave an opportunity for others to taste it and distribute it. Next slide, please. So it is said that Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he had this beautiful mango tree. After Sankirtan one day, the devotees were so fatigued. So then Lord Chaitanya, he just manifested a mango tree. Immediately a tree manifested. It was laden with ripe mango fruits. And then Lord Chaitanya started plucking the mango fruits and he started giving to everyone. And he said that you take, eat, and distribute. That is the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya is saying that, Akela Mali, Ami koto phol bilaibo. That I am the only gardener. Next slide, please. That Lord Chaitanya, he has come as the only gardener who is, watering our Bhakti Lata tree. Next slide, please. We see that Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, we can see here, he is the one that was watering this tree of devotion. And then the fruits of prema that this tree is bearing, Lord Chaitanya himself is distributing to everyone. So Lord Chaitanya is saying that, I cannot distribute every fruit by myself to everyone. I need help. So please come and help me. And when Lord Chaitanya says that please come and help me, what does he say? That, Amar Agyai Guru Hoya Taro Edesh. That in my instruction, next slide, please.
Can we go back a little bit? As you can see, there are little people on this particular slide, on the edge of the leaves, who are being distributed. So there are so many shakhas or branches coming out of the tree of devotion of Lord Chaitanya, Bhakti Vriksha, and one branch is Lord Nityananda. We see the other branches, Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit, and they have sub-branches of personalities and sub-branches. And then when the fruits are there, the yellow fruits that you can see,
little tiny balls,
someone is plucking them and then giving to the next person. That person is giving to the next person. And the two are eager to take it. Why are they eager to take the fruit? Only so that they can distribute to the people, more people. And that is the whole idea of this Krishna consciousness movement. Taste and distribute.
And that is the philosophy of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Next slide, please. Like, as it is said, that God loves it when the giver delights in the giving. That when we give to others, we receive more mercy. That is our philosophy. Next slide, please. So here we see that Sri Chaitanya, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself says in the 18th chapter in text 68, Krishna says, for one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed. And in the end, he will come back to me.
He continues in the next verse. Next slide, please. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. If we have to become the servant of the holy name, dear to the holy name, then we must broadcast its glories by our example and by our words. In fact, in Srila Prabhupada, in this purport to the previous verse, Prabhupada says, anyone who tries sincerely to present Bhagavad Gita as it is will advance in devotional activities and reach the pure devotional state of life. As a result of such pure devotion, he is sure to go back home, back to Godhead. So this is the secret. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada says that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore advised everyone, next slide please, to become a guru and preach Krishna consciousness. Amar agyai guru hoy taroe desh. Or he has also said, Jare dekha tare kaho Krishna upadesh. Amar agyai guru hoy. By my instruction, become a guru. You don't need any stamping. Just the fact that you are connected to a devotee, you can go ahead and start preaching. That is the easiest way to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These are Srila Prabhupada's words in Srimad Bhagavatam 7th Canto purport. Prabhupada says, by such preaching, the preacher becomes satisfied, and those to whom he preaches are also satisfied. This is the process of bringing peace and tranquility to the entire world.
And thus, this way only, we will be able to realize the, sharing Krishna consciousness, giving Krishna to others. When we give and when we talk about the japa of the holy names with others, when we talk about the Hare Krishna Mahamantra with others, the Mahamantra is so pleased with us that we are allowed to taste the nectar, to get deeper attachment to the holy names. So preaching or sharing Krishna consciousness is not an option. Sometimes, we feel that, preaching is supposed to be done by senior devotees, those who know Sanskrit, those who are initiated, and those who, can speak such nice verses, they speak very well. Only they are qualified to speak. No. Lord Chaitanya has given the description of who is a preacher. Srila Prabhupada has said, even Saraswati, a 3-year-old girl, she can preach, she can share Krishna consciousness. If we just know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if we just say that, that is good enough. So this is what, giving Krishna to others is a very, very fast process of developing attachment to the holy names. Next slide, please.
So today we discuss the final offense, the 10th offense, to not have complete faith in the chanting of holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. Why does this happen? Why do we not have complete faith? Because we have the aham mameti mentality, that these material possessions are mine. But on Prema stage, it transforms that that Krishna is mine. And there is insecurity in the material possessiveness because it's an illusion. The thing that we think is ours belongs to us, actually does not belong to us. Our children, why are we so possessive about children, but then very insecure as well? Or possessive about something that belongs to us, but insecure as well? Because in reality, it does not belong to us. That possessiveness is illusory. The only possessiveness we can have is possessiveness of Krishna, because there, that is an eternal relationship. Nothing can change that, nothing can take that away from us. That relationship exists even now. You just have to revive it. And that's why we are not having complete faith. And what's the remedy? We associate with devotees, and especially look for devotees who have given up material attachments, who do not have any material taste, and we associate and have developed spiritual taste. Even if they have not developed, but they are endeavoring sincerely to develop spiritual taste, we associate with them, and then this 10th offense can be eradicated. Next slide, please.
So Krishna says in Srimad Bhagavatam in the 11th canto, O learned Uddhava, those who fix their consciousness on me, giving up all material desires, share with me a happiness that cannot possibly be experienced by those engaged in sense gratification. So Krishna is giving us a vision of what is the possibility if we can give up sense gratification, if we can give up our material attachments, what is waiting for us? You know, it's like Krishna consciousness is so beautiful. Srila Prabhupada says that it's not that we are just saying, oh, detach yourself from material world, become detached, become detached. No, we are rather saying develop attachment to Krishna. That is the most important thing that we need to cultivate, is to just develop attachment to Krishna. And then we can share with Krishna a happiness that cannot be possibly experienced with anything material. And this is the guarantee given by Krishna himself in the Srimad Bhagavatam to Uddhava. Next slide, please.
So here, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says there is an 11th offense. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must carefully guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. And so he explains in Sri Harinam Chintamani 3 kinds of inattention. One is odasinya, which means indifference, because we are so attached to so many things that while chanting also we think of those attachments. So we are indifferent to chanting in that sense. And how do we remedy that? Chant with great devotees. If we sit along great devotees and chant, those vibrations will affect us and elevate us to a level that we will be yearning to achieve every time. That experience is very important. And that'll show us the low value of our material attachments.
The next one is laziness, jadata, that it stops us to, complete some important, we stop our chanting to complete some important activities. We interrupt our chanting for doing so many other things. So the remedy is to specifically seek and associate with devotees who do not waste time with material talk and are constantly engaged in chanting the holy names of Krishna. Next slide, please. And the third one is vikshepa, which is distraction. You know, distractions can come in so many ways. The mind is not able to focus, intelligence is not giving, proper direction. So we are calling out to Krishna. We are not, paying attention when he is coming in the name, in the form of the holy name, and he is dancing on our tongue. We are not even paying attention to that because we are distracted. So the remedy is to follow a strict Vaishnava etiquette of dressing, it is said, Ekadashi, following festivals and sincere chanting with Vaishnavas. You see, the bottom line for all the 3 kinds of distractions is to chant with Vaishnavas, to chant with sincere devotees. So then we can get rid of this root cause of all offenses, which is to be inattentive while chanting. So this is that today we've covered all the 10 offenses to chanting the holy names of Krishna.
Next slide, please. So here we discuss, okay, when we chant the holy names, how do we attract Krishna's mercy? What are the qualities we need? Yesterday we discussed about Guru Seva. We also discussed a little bit about sincerity. We also need to have faith, hope, and we must feel loved by Krishna. Whatever be the circumstances, Krishna is always with us. Next slide, please. So the first quality is Guru Seva. We discussed yesterday with the example of Ram and Lakshman. Next slide, please. The second quality is sincerity. When our mind does not feel like chanting, that is the test of our sincerity. It's a beautiful opportunity. It's an opportunity that Krishna has given to build our spiritual strength against the resistance of the mind. In any scenario, if we have to build strength, we need to lift weights. If someone has to build their muscles or something, they have to lift weights against the resistance of gravity. Nothing but resistance to the body. Similarly, resistance to the mind builds spiritual strength as well. Of course, resistance to the mind by taking shelter of the holy name, by taking shelter of Krishna, builds spiritual strength. The mind is not cooperating. That is, Krishna is giving us natural weights. For getting weights, we have to go to the gym. Here, Krishna is giving natural weights for the mind. The mind is not cooperating. Wow! Now is the opportunity to show Krishna that I'm so sincere. He has given me this to build spiritual strength. How? By depending on him and chanting anyways. The mind may be saying so many things. Our life may be going topsy-turvy in so many ways. Chant anyways.
Very good. Next slide, please. The next quality is faith. Faith is our miracle working power. We need to understand that faith is something that, we start with faith. We also continue to build on that faith. It's not that, okay, now we have faith. The first step was faith. Okay, now we give up faith and we keep moving on. No, the faith actually keeps building and building and building. So faith is our miracle working power. Next slide, please. Hope. Hoping against hope. Hoping. Our hope is the mercy of the holy names. If we want Krishna's mercy, we place ourselves in the hands of the holy names and give up any sense of being the controller, even of our own spiritual existence. We give up the sense of proprietorship. All we can do is listen to the holy names and allow our consciousness to touch the holy names. We must bathe ourselves with our mind, intelligence, false ego, material consciousness, everything in the nectar of Krishna's holy names. This is the hope that we give to our mind every single day. And that's a very, very important aspect, a very important quality that attracts Krishna's mercy. Next slide, please.
Then we need to feel loved by Krishna. This quality attracts Krishna to us. If we feel loved by Krishna, Krishna, whatever the situation, I know you love me. When we say that, that attracts Krishna to us because he says, yes, yes, you realize this. I really love you. Can we trust Krishna's unswerving affection for us? Just see what he does for us. Out of his affection, he steadily accompanies us as we transmigrate from body to another body, from human to a hog, to worm and to a germ. Krishna is always there. Our family members may be here just for this lifetime. They may not even recognize us in the next lifetime. But you know who recognizes us? Krishna. Who but our dearest well-wisher would do that? So we focus on that and feel Krishna's love. That attracts Krishna's mercy.
And this feeling loved by Krishna is also showing that we are fearless when we have taken shelter of Krishna, because this is something that we do not receive materially. None of these qualities, especially this quality, we do not feel loved genuinely feel loved selflessly, very rarely in this material world, in material relationships. If something goes wrong, love is the first thing that goes out the door. So, feeling loved by Krishna also helps us get rid of our insecurity, our fears that, you know, yes, we should be fearless that, yes, Krishna will love us no matter what. No matter what the situation, Krishna will never give up on us. He will always be there with a laddu in his hand, waiting for us to look his side, and he will put that laddu in our mouth, just like we see here. So, this is how we feel loved by Krishna.
Next slide, please. So today, the Prema stage is actually symptomized by the 7th and the 8th verse of Siksastakam. Yugayitam nimishena chakshusha pravrishayitam shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. Oh Govinda, feeling your separations, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. This is how a person in prema prays and thinks. Next slide, please.
Is verse 8, the final verse of Sri Shikshashtakam.
Ashlishyava padaratam pinashtumam adarshanan marmahatam karotu va yatha tatha va vidadhatu lampato mat prananathastu sa eva para. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord. He shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace. What makes me broken hearted by not being present before. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally.
So you see, this is unconditional love that is expressed here without any condition. Whether Krishna, you make me happy while I'm chanting, whether you make me miserable when I'm chanting, I am not bothered about what condition you put me in. I am not bothered about that. I just want to love you unconditionally. That is my only desire, Krishna. That is the ultimate, the penultimate state of prema that is expressed by Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And chanting these 8 verses every day is one of the greatest success in chanting our rounds very wonderfully. If many devotees do this as a practice, for successful japa, is to recite the 8 verses of the Shikshashtakam every single day before starting to chant our japa. It puts us in the consciousness of receiving Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Because it is only by Gauranga Mahaprabhu's mercy that we can actually chant the holy names of Krishna.
Next slide, please. So today, on the last day of the Japa workshop, final day, we'd like to give a summary of some practical tips that we discussed during this workshop. Of course, there are much more details that we gave, but if there is some takeaway that you want to take of these 10 days, then these are some of the things you can consider. 10 practical tips for successful japa. The first one is sacred space. Select a specific time, a specific place, and go into the sacred space, which means in your house. That's whenever you go there, your mind clicks into that particular mood of chanting. The mind will automatically be channelized and prompted to hear our japa attentively. So create that sacred space.
Second is to chant with Tulasi Devi. If possible, we can chant in front of Tulasi Maharani because she is the one who enhances our japa. She is the one who is the carrier of Krishna's mercy. So if we are not able to, sometimes in cold countries, we're not having the actual Tulasi plant, but then you can keep a picture of Vrinda Devi and chant with Vrinda Devi. So somehow or the other, chanting with Tulasi Maharani is being authorized and recommended by Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu himself, which was followed very, very ardently by Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur himself.
Third is the 3P formula that we had discussed in the first session: posture, pronunciation, and prayer.
Fourth is chant with devotees as much as possible. Try to chant with devotees, if personally best, if not at least over some conference calls, or at least with a recording of Srila Prabhupada or our senior or our spiritual masters or senior devotees. While listening to their japa, if we are chanting our japa, it gives us strength and enthusiasm to chant our rounds.
Fifth is massage the beats, as Srila Prabhupada told one of his disciples. When we chant Hare Krishna, we make the beat dance. And when we chant Hare Rama, we hold the beat steady. And that is an indication for the mind to come back into hearing the holy names.
The sixth one is bringing our minds back. When we chant, the mind does run away, but let us not run away with our mind. Let us bring the mind back every time. And this sincere effort is rewarded by Krishna and pleases Krishna immensely.
Seventh is read about the glories of Japa, just like this Japa workshop is based on the Japa book by Bhurijan Prabhu, by the affirmations by Mahatma Prabhu, Sachinandan Maharaj's books, and so many different acharyas have written Harinam Chintamani by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. In order to bring our minds back and to keep the enthusiasm going, at least 5 to 6 minutes after maybe chanting 8 rounds or 12 rounds, we read the Japa affirmations or anything that can inspire us specifically about Japa. Just any book about devotional service is good also, but specifically about japa, how to do our japa, any 5 minutes if you read during japa, boom, you get that enthusiasm again.
Next, bhajan kutir of the heart. When we chant, we must enter into the bhajan kutir of our hearts and not let our minds and our intelligence to enter. Anything unwanted thoughts, stay outside. Create a bhajan kutir of the heart where we are sitting with Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual masters and they are listening to our japa. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda are listening to our japa.
And while we are in that bhajan kutir, we put our active life on hold. Number 9. We pause it. We switch off the lights to our material life and switch on the lights in that bhajan kutir where we see all Krishna's belongings. And it's just the soul and the holy name and all the acharyas who are helping us towards the holy name. One of the reasons our mind wanders is because before we start chanting, we haven't told our mind, look, mind, for the next 2 hours, you have a break. I'm turning you off. I'm turning my whole life off. And then we enter into a zone where we are above our current and previous lives. Just like we don't remember our previous lives. Same way, I choose not to remember my current life during japa. When I come out of the bhajan kutir, I can switch on the lights of my current life and resume from where I paused.
The 10th and the final tip is dedicate our japa rounds. Very wonderful method of effortlessly chanting our 16 rounds is to dedicate each of our rounds. Like yesterday we were discussing this, that the first 10 rounds, we are discussing this about Mayapur because Mayapur, Srila Prabhupada said, Sri Mayapur Dham is the world headquarters of ISKCON. And it is the home of every Vaishnava because it is the birthplace, the appearance place of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So, therefore, the presiding deities in Sri Mayapur Dham are Radha Madhava Ashtasakhis. They are 10 in number. So, the first 10 rounds we can dedicate to Radha Madhava Ashtasakhis. The next 5 rounds we can dedicate to each of the personalities of the Panchatattva who are residing in Sri Mayapur Dham. And the last round, the 16th round, we can dedicate to Ugrastanu Narasinghadev Bhagavan, who is the protector of the Dham. He is the protector of our bhakti. So we can chant in this way, and our 16 rounds get done like this. And we can chant extra rounds also, while dedicating it to the well-being of our spiritual masters, for the growth of ISKCON, praying for the well-being of other devotees. This way, when we chant for others, Krishna becomes very pleased. And this is the easiest way to develop a selfless attitude and to give up the mentality of I, me, and mine.
Next slide, please. We discuss about ways of not chanting japa. 29th is audio japa, which is chanting while listening to a lecture. Many times we see that devotees are in the temple room, they're listening to a lecture, and they are chanting. And it's very disrespectful to the speaker, disrespectful for the process of Shravanam, because we are neither listening to our japa nor listening to the speaker. Because when we are trying to listen to the japa, our mind goes to the speaker. When we are trying to listen to the speaker, because the japa bag is in our hands, we get coming back to hearing the japa. So therefore, audio japa, not to do that, not recommended. In fact, several Maharajas, when they see devotees chanting like this, they point out that please don't do this. It's one of the offenses. Sightseeing japa. This is when we are walking or driving and chanting with some serious sightseeing, with the focus not on japa, the focus not on cultivating a mood to appreciate Krishna, but just looking at wonderful sights and japa is going on in the background. That's not a way of chanting.
Next is typewriter japa. You know how typewriter makes the sounds tuck, 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 tuck. So we also chant Nish, Nish, Ram, Ram, Ari, 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 Ram, 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 Nish, 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 Ram, 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 Nish, 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 Ram, 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 Ram. This is typewriter japa. We must avoid that. The last one is apathy japa, chanting with absolutely no desire or enthusiasm to chant.
Next slide, please. So this was the end of day 10 of Japa Workshop. Before we end, of course, of the slideshow, this is the end of the slideshow, but the guided mantra meditation, we will start now. And after that, we would like to hear all of your realizations on this Japa Workshop. So please end the slideshow now, and we will discuss the guided mantra meditation. The first mantra meditation, we all went outside together into a beautiful place, into a beautiful beach, and heard the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The second japa, we went into our heart, into the inner recesses of our heart, and illuminated with that golden throne that we saw, that we seated the lords of our heart on. Today, we go to the spiritual world.
So we request everyone to please close your eyes and please take a deep breath in, hold it, let it out. So today, all of us, with all the wonderful devotees that we have with us, all of us are going aboard a ship. This ship is so huge. And all of the devotees who are there, we know them. They are our friends with whom we have started our spiritual journey. And now we are embarking on this journey. We don't know where the ship is going to go, but we are going with them on this ship. And we see that the captain of the ship is actually Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual masters. As the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text 22 says, Tvam na sandarshito dhatra dushtaram nishtitirshatam kalim sattvaharam pumsam karnadhara ivarnavam. We think that we have met your goodness by the will of providence, just so that we may accept you as the captain of the ship. For those who desire to cross the difficult ocean of Kali, which deteriorates all the good qualities of the human beings. So therefore, the spiritual master is actually the captain of this particular ship, our Karnadhara. So Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual masters, they are the captain of this ship. The ship is sailing and we all are in ecstasy. We are chanting the holy names together as the ship sets sail. Let us together chant the beautiful holy names in great ecstasy. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. While chanting, suddenly one of us notices that there is a little crack on the side of the ship and water is gushing in. Most of us get very scared seeing this very dreadful sight. Imagine the ocean, the ship is on the ocean and water is gushing in. What if the ship sinks? What will happen to us? Some of us are thinking, should we jump off the ship with our life vests on? We will probably be safer if we jump off the ship rather than drowning in the ship. Then one of the devotees comes to us and says that we will not be able to swim even with our life vests on because we are in the middle of the ocean and there are dangerous sea animals who will simply consume us effortlessly. So therefore, we give up the idea of jumping off from the ship. Right then, our spiritual masters, along with Srila Prabhupada, they appear over there. And they tell us, don't be scared. Rather than thinking about jumping off from the ship or being fearful of the ship sinking or sea storms coming, why don't we fix the problem? Let us fix the problem. And they personally start fixing the crack in the ship by placing some heavy cement bags to stop the inflow of the water into the ship. Then by their direction, they direct some of us to bring some wooden planks, some nails, some hammer, and they direct us, and under their direction, we seal off that crack. While we are doing this, we are constantly chanting in great ecstasy. We are constantly chanting together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Our Guru Varga spiritual masters explain to us that the ship is actually our society, ISKCON. That Srila Prabhupada has so lovingly created. Sometimes we will witness some things going wrong, but rather than thinking of leaving the ship of ISKCON and jumping into the ocean of the material world, where there is a danger of us getting consumed by Maya and her deadly agents, it is better if we fix the problem that we have together under the directions of Srila Prabhupada and his bona fide representatives. After listening to this, our hearts are completely filled with deep ecstasy as we have realized this as a true fact. The only way we will be able to cross over this ocean of material miseries is when we are aboard the ship of ISKCON, which will carry all of us safely across the material ocean of suffering. With this realization, we are so blissfully chanting on board this beautiful ship. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Dive in again. We are also pulling up some souls who wish to be rescued. We are telling them, please give us your hand. Come on the ship. We are able to save so many souls along the way. After some time, Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual masters, they point out to all of us, look, Krishna's abode is here. We are approaching Krishna's effulgent abode. We are also excited and chanting and using in unison. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We see such a bright, effulgent, beautiful land. It appears like 1,000-petaled lotus flower, so enchanting. There are conch shells that are blowing. We can hear the conch shells blowing, bells that are ringing, beautiful birds that are chirping. And it's not just chip, 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 but they are actually chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The peacocks are dancing ecstatically, and lo and behold, the most beautiful sound in the entire creation enters our ears. The transcendental sound of Krishna's divine flute. Srila Prabhupada points out to us that look who all are standing to welcome us into the spiritual world. We can see the beautiful Sankirtan party of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Lord Gauranga and Lord Nityananda, along with their beautiful associates, are dancing ecstatically. The beautiful Brajbasis are there. The Shadagoswamis are there. The Manjaris are there. The Gopis are there. And lo and behold, there is the gorgeous son, the beloved son of Nanda Maharaj, Sri Gopinath, along with his most beautiful consort, Mahabhav Swarupini Srimati Radha Thakurani. They're all standing there. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
The ship has now docked. We all run down from the ship and offer our prostrated obeisances to this most beautiful spiritual world, where it is filled with touchstones and wish-fulfilling trees. Lord Nityananda picks us up gently and embraces us in a warm embrace. Lord Chaitanya embraces us and completely drench us with their loving tears. We were waiting for you. After so many lifetimes, you are here. Each of the Brajbasis lovingly embrace us as we touch their lotus feet, and our spiritual masters finally hold our hands and bring us in the audience of Leela Purushottam, Shri Krishna, and the most compassionate Shri Radhe. We just fall like sticks in Dandavat Pranam in front of the divine couple. Our Bhakti Lata creeper has finally now taken shelter at the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha Madhava and has borne the fruit of Krishna Prema, pure love of Krishna.
The divine couple pick us up. They embrace us with tears in their eyes. They tell us, what took you so long? We have been waiting for you. Welcome. Welcome home. Our hearts know end to this bliss that we are feeling. Then we notice suddenly that our spiritual masters and Srila Prabhupada are heading back to the ship. And we run after them. that Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, where are you going? And they say to us very lovingly that there are many, many more souls who are waiting, who need to be brought back to the spiritual world. You stay back and we will return soon with more souls, bringing them back to Krishna. Some of us desire to stay back with Krishna, while some of us desire to accompany them so that we may assist them in their mission, seeing our sincerity to serve. Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual masters take us with them, just so that we can become humble instruments in their hands and be utilized the way they want in their preaching mission. That is the success of our lives. That Krishna has manifested. We had the audience with Krishna, and now we are with our spiritual masters, with Srila Prabhupada, and in the mission of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, to be used as puppets in their hands, instruments in their hands, so that we can help them, assist them in rescuing more and more souls, bringing them back to Krishna. With this beautiful feeling, now that the pure love of God has arisen in our hearts, nothing can stop us from having the direct audience of Krishna by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual masters. Thus, we are feeling so enlightened that our Bhakti Lata, our creeper of devotion, has finally borne its fruit of Krishna Prema. Feeling so blissful, so ecstatic, we continue our mission to serve our spiritual masters and Srila Prabhupada by ecstatically chanting together, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This bliss is always with us, always in the core of our hearts. Whenever we want, we can take darshan of Sri Sri Radha and Sri Krishna, who have made their permanent residence in the region of our heart. Thus, we can slowly open our eyes and we can come back to external consciousness, feeling great bliss and ecstasy. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So, thank you very much for coming on this journey together. Now, let's open the lines for realizations, questions, and comments.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yes, Garima. Yes. And we request everyone to keep it a little short so that we can hear more and more devotees speaking. Yes, Garima Bacha, please go ahead.
Wait. Okay. Wait, he wants to speak first. Speak.
When we eat tulasi, we eat hey. He sings that.
Okay.
When we eating tulasi, we eating funny tulasi.
Can we eat tulasi? What does he sing? Tulasi leaf?
When we eating tulasi, are we eating her hair? That's what she is asking. Yeah,
You are eating tulasi leaf.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Prabhuji, Tanmay Pranam, all glories. Gurudev and your selfless services. I really enjoyed this Japa session classes, and I will start paying attention to my chanting, and like I will improve it. I really like how you explained everything, and especially I've been waiting for the Vaisnath to chant japa. I just enjoyed that part a lot. That's my favorite part of the class. Because you both act so funny and you just serious things, you make it into fun things.
Oh, thank you, Beta.
I just love this. I just like to and love to attend your classes because it's just so enjoying to me. Just can't wait for the next day, even 1 second.
Thank you, Beta. Thank you. And we love you so much. Thank you, Beta.
Now, I colored this picture.
That's so pretty, Garima. So pretty, Beta. Send us a picture, okay?
Okay.
Love you, Beta. Thank you.
I want to say, Mataji, Prabhuji, thank you so much for giving us your association. It was so wonderful, the whole class. And I have to really, really work on my japa. After hearing the whole session, I'm really, really looking forward to work on each and every point. And thank you so much. It was very inspiring, and especially today's journey was really amazing. It gave me so much hopes that one day we'll be with our Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada and engage in their service. And this is the very, very biggest hope. So you actually took us to the spiritual world. Thank you so much, Mataji and Prabhuji. We appreciate your.
This is such a beautiful thing. So beautiful you have done. Very beautiful, Beta. Send us a picture, okay?
And you were going to spiritual world. I was just on the boat and I was thinking so much.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Apakalata. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. Nice class, Mataji.
Thank you. Who is this?
Sanvi Mataji.
Sanvi. Thank you, Beta. Thank you so much. It's so wonderful to see you, Sanvi.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hari bol. Thank you, Bacha. Thank you. Hari bol. Bhakti Priya.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all gurus to Srila Prabhupada and all gurus to Harinam also. Thank you for such a wonderful and amazing session. It was so beautiful. No words how to explain that, and especially that mantra meditation. I loved it. We are going to spiritual world. You are taking us to spiritual world. Thank you so much, Mataji and Prabhuji. And the music, when we are doing that mantra meditation, that music you have given, that also, it's so satisfying, Mataji and Prabhuji.
That is Prabhu's beautiful work, that he chose this very special music.
We bought it from Rishikesh in the Himalayas.
Oh, no, so nice, Mataji.
Thank you, Priya. Thank you so much.
And Mataji, today I have 2 questions. The first question is, I have heard that Krishna, without Guru and Krishna's mercy, a person cannot come into Krishna consciousness. So why Krishna can't show mercy on everyone in this world and everyone can go back to Godhead? Why he is not showing to everyone that while we have to force them to chant and do kirtans? So why can't he do that so easily we can go?
Because Krishna cannot force love. Love has to be optional. It cannot be conditioned. We cannot put gun on someone and say, love me. That is not love, that is fear. So that is why we should not, that's why Krishna never interferes with our free will.
But Mataji, and even in the 10 offenses they have given, do not for it is an offense to force somebody, they have given, right? So force,
It,
it's an offense.
it says to instruct a faithless person regarding the glories of the holy name. That is an offense.
Oh,
But
oh,
Okay. Thank
okay,
you,
ma'am.
Beta.
And another question is,
Yes.
you have told that we have to concentrate, while chanting.
Uh-huh.
You have to concentrate while chanting. So I am concentrating when I am chanting. One day I'm concentrating, then next 2 days the same concentration is not coming. To come continuously, what I wanted to avoid that.
You have to just keep practicing. Just keep practicing, it will come. You
Okay,
have
ma'am.
to have the desire and just keep practicing. Okay?
Okay, okay, Mataji and
Thank
Prabhuji.
you, Bhakti
Thank you,
Priya.
Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Kirti, if you can just wait for a 1 minute better, we'll first take Anju Agarwal Mataji and then we'll come to you, Kirti, if you don't mind. I think Anjali is, wanting to go next, if you don't mind, Kirti. Anjali?
Hare Krishna, Jai Mata Di.
Uh,
Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam Bhaiya and Bhavi.
Hari Bol Dandavad.
Yeah, I just requested because I think so. After 10 minutes, the doctor is going to come on the rounds, and I'm in the hospital. So
Yes.
I'm really sorry for
No,
the.
don't worry about it. Kirti is
Yeah,
very mature. She will understand.
yeah. ये तो मतलब these Japa workshops. I think so. I have to listen them again and again and again and again because I'm just feeling कि अभी तक हम क्या कर रहे थे? We were just doing a mechanical process. There was so much of knowledge behind it. After doing these workshops, my eyes have opened. Right now, only the eyes have opened. Still, the mind has to it is sink in, and it has to go into the entire system. So, मतलब एकदम जादू है. Like so much of your I will say like so much of your research, your hard work and everything, and it just reached to our heart right now. And it has made me realize now these 7 days, every day just read all those 20 things every day. Oh my, and then I go back to the quiz round because that is also helping me to go back and forth. And it really says no, because just hearing once, it doesn't it just gets into just a small thing of your mind, but it has to get into the heart. It is, I think so, it is a long process for us to really follow them, concentrate on our chanting, do it properly. Yes, mind so goes everywhere. Every time I have to get it back and hold it, like just like घोड़े की वो, it just goes and then you have to get, but at least we are getting it back. Previously we didn't even know that where it was running and what we were doing. I just don't know. I will just leave it to Krishna. We were just doing some mechanical process, how we were doing. Thanks for your so much of guidance, so much of eye openers. It was, and believe me, when I started, like just now, you told us that we were doing that guided meditation of say and I was feeling, yes, so many things were coming into my life when I was doing this Japa workshop, one after the other. First, elder daughter not well, down with COVID. The second one, then in the hospital. And I was just thinking, but by Krishna's grace, your all these aapka, the lectures and everything, your guidance and all was keeping me grounded. Every story I was feeling was knocking on my head. It was only for me. मेरे को लग रहा था जैसे आप भगवान जी आपके मुंह पे बैठ के मुझे बता रहे हैं कि ये करो, ऐसे करो, don't lose hope, do this, do that. And I was saying, wow, like any question I used to get in my head, second day you used to just tell it. And I was used to be so amazed. ये कैसे हो रहा है? And I says nothing, कुछ नहीं हो रहा. ये सिर्फ like आपके मुंह से भगवान जी बोल रहे हैं, कृष्णा एंड राधा बोल रहे हैं. And मतलब चैतन्य like मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा था चैतन्य महाप्रभु and all. Now I would like to show you something. I used to do a lot of drawing and painting when I was a kid. And then after my marriage, then suddenly when children were born, I used to just teach them and I left it. And this week, just I have done this.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
And it
Wow.
is, I don't know how it came to me and from where the small, I got a board at home only. And it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's thinking of Radhe Krishna. I hope it is clear to you. You can see it clearly.
Yes, yes,
Absolutely.
wonderful.
Yes. We are
So
And
seeing
then
it.
I started this, then I could not complete. And yesterday I told my daughter to get it to the hospital. And yesterday I completed it. And बस कृष्णा ये बोलता है ना मैं तुम्हारे अंदर हूँ. It doesn't matter the place. And in the hospital he was there and I was just doing it. And I just completed it. Thanks to you both, Bhaiya and Bhabhi, for
Very
motivating
beautiful.
me.
Please send us a picture. We'd like to
It
preserve
is
this
like,
with us.
I just did black and white, whatever things, minimum material we had. But it was
Very beautiful.
just
Very
what was
beautiful.
in the heart came out on the picture. That's it. And
Very
thanks for
beautiful.
your this. And one more, like, although I just try to did on my books,
Oh,
it is like Krishna and this, like on my book, I was just doing it, doing the sketches.
so nice.
I
So nice.
thanks to both of you, मैं कितना बोलूं क्या बोलूं मैं आप लोगों को your association, your prayers, you're just a driving force in my life. आपने बस हाथ पकड़ रखा है कृष्णा के जैसे ही और सब कुछ कर रहे हैं आप रोज की रोज I'm sending you so many messages. The devotees, they are calling me. Garima's mother, she was calling me, and other Matajis, they are calling and they're sending such good wishes. I'm so motivated and deeply touched. You have taught us, one more thing I want to share was about gurus, how, your living examples, how to serve your gurus. And I just don't know how to serve both of you now. I just let us know how to serve both of you, and that will be our like saubhagya. So it will be like you are really a true gurus in a thing, and I just want to want to learn from. I have learned so much from you now. I want to do it also. So please let me know how can I do any small service. So it will be so good.
well, when devotees would tell Srila Prabhupada, they would express their gratitude to Srila Prabhupada and say, what can we do for you? Srila Prabhupada would say, give to others what I have given to you. So we have received all of this from Srila Prabhupada and his disciples. And if the best way to express gratitude is to share it with as many people as you can, maybe you can share the video links or subscription of the channels or something like that to others, so others can also get benefited in what if they're interested. And you personally can also share, I mean, which you are doing, but as much as possible, uh, share your realizations with others. That is what Krishna wants. That is what Lord Chaitanya wants. That is their desire. That is Srila Prabhupada's desire.
Sure, that we have been doing and we will do it more now. And so many friends have also been joined to your groups, shared with them your Facebook link and everything. The way you have changed our lives, maybe all everybody is also blessed to do that. Thank you so much for your prayers. Please give big thanks to your Ma Baba for the prayers for our entire family, for everything. And thank you all the devotees for sending your good wishes and prayers. And she's much better now. And
Wonderful.
hopefully everything should be fine. And
Yes.
it is just a
We
thing.
continue to pray for her. We
Thank
continue
you
to
so
pray for
much.
her.
Deep gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Love you.
Dandavat Pranam. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I'm Bhakti Priya. Sorry for disturbing you.
Yes.
Mataji, I forgot to show and things I like to show that.
Okay. Oh,
I have
wow.
drawn this.
That's
Wonderful,
very
beautiful.
beautiful. Very beautiful, Priya. Very beautiful.
Yeah, so creative and so much devotion in your drawing.
Thank
Very,
you,
very
Prabhuji.
Very
Hare
nice.
Krishna.
Very pretty.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, beta. Haribol.
Hare Krishna
Kirti.
Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam,
Krishna
glories to
beta.
Srila
Thank
Prabhupada,
you
Guru
so much
Varga.
for waiting, Kirti. Thank
It's
you.
okay. So I really like the session today and all of the Japa workshop, because when I just chant my rounds, I just chant, and it's just chanting, and I do a lot of the do not chants when I chant. So this is like a turning point for me, because I never been like fully taught how to chant and how not to chant. We just have to chant Hare Krishna, but then I'm not really like learn the meaning of chanting, or how to chant or how not to chant. So I wanted to thank you both from the bottom of my heart so much for this session. I couldn't thank you both enough. Thank you so much, Mataji Prabhuji, for a beautiful session, a beautiful workshop. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
You should know that I love you from the bottom of our heart. Thank you, Kirti.
Haribol.
See you. We feel that, there's something missing in today's session. Thank you, beta. Thank you.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Please chant for us also when you're chanting.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Haribol. Thank
Haribol.
you, Kirti. Haribol. Next, Vrinda Gopika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Prabhuji, Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Mataji, we cannot explain in the words what actually we are getting from you. And Mataji, we started to hear what we chant, and it is very difficult for me to understand at the Kirtida Sundari Mataji's lecture. It is from Atmaram and very high level, like our Radhanath Gurudev lecture. And Mataji, it's very surprised. Trust me, Mataji, from bottom of the heart. Supriya Mataji is here. Before 2 days, word to word rememberize. All credits go to, and I explained the summary. All credits go to you and Prabhuji, that you guide us how we have to do japa. And and the last Mataji and Prabhuji, today's session, and we all sit in the Srila Prabhupada boat, and so nicely explain about all the small curry, then flower and fruit, then Mataji Navdha Bhakti, and how we have to do and how we have to not do the japa, and we have to complete our japa in a Brahma Murata. It is working, Mataji, it is working. Hearing attentively, follow the instruction of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev. And when japa is not good, we have to just pray to Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev in lotus feet of Shri Radha Gopinath. It's working, Mataji. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam to your sincere seva. Already Anju Mataji has explained everything, Mataji, that so many Vaishnava get your blessing, and whatever we learn from you, we will try to share with all the Vaishnava, first for our family member. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam, Mataji, Prabhuji, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Jai Jai Nityananda, Jai Jai Gauranga. Pray for us that we will chant our round attentively and get up early in the morning and complete our round in a Brahma Murata. And the quality, hearing is very important. And Prabhuji and Mataji are explained not to do Vaishnava Aparadh, and so many things. Mataji and Prabhuji, I make a 7 or 8 page summary, but the blessing is coming from heart. Jai Jai Nityananda, Jai Jai Gauranga. Hare Krishna Mataji, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. We are so grateful to you for your sincere blessings upon us, for your wonderful, inspiring association. It enthuses us. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Savita Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji and Mataji. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Gurudev. Please accept our humble obeisance, Prabhuji and Mataji. I just want to share my realization, Mataji. See, after I started attending the Japa workshop, I realized my Shiksha Guru Mataji used to tell how much ever we have achieved in this life birth, in the next life birth, if we have not completed, we'll continue from there. To be honest, very honest, and if I'm speaking from my heart, I realized I have not even reached zero after understanding this workshop, how I have to chant. Because in 16 rounds of chanting, we are chanting 1784 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I think double the time my mind runs all around. Every time I keep it pulling it back. Then I realized, see, when we are doing useless chat, if we chat for 2 hours, if we think once Krishna in between, we think, oh, Krishna is with us, we are speaking about Krishna. To be very honest, I understood how much we are greedy of this material world and how much we have to get detached. I think you have given us such a powerful, sharp sword for us. It's not a knife, it's a sword, because so much of knots we have all around. I don't know, Mataji, how I can cut. Though I have sword with me, I don't know whether I'll be able to apply it all around. So much I have been tied up. And every time when my thought runs, that is what comes. My God, this is how I should be with Krishna. Then only I can go back home, back to Godhead. And I realized where I stand. For that, I give my gratitude. And one more thing, what I understood is you told about 3 P's. I always try to focus on 3 P's all these days. To be honest, today auto correction was happening for me. When I was chanting, when my body posture used to change, automatically my body was correcting by itself to go to the posture which Prabhu should. I'm not trying to exaggerate or anything. When I try to bend little more or back or something like that, auto correction, it used to take its own posture and it used to get, and I could feel that there is something happening. And every time when I chant, it runs away. Then I'll tell, no, Mataji has told, pull it back. So I'll tell you, as you told, so many things keeps coming. It is something related to Krishna only, but still I told nothing doing. I am with Harinam. Prabhu is with me. I am with Harinam. So I realized how hard we have tuned into this material life, and you gave us the realization that to understand how deep we are. And I have one question, Prabhuji and Mataji. You told when we are chanting 16 rounds, we have to dedicate 10 rounds to Ashtagopis, and then 5 rounds to Panchatattva, and 1 round to Narsingadev. Are we supposed to do first round for Narsingadev, then Panchatattva and Gopis, or ulta direction? That is first question. Second question is, when you tell we have to surrender, I really need to understand how to surrender, because all these days we thought that we are chanting for ourselves. When you tell we have to surrender, I really need to understand about this, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavats Pranam, Prabhuji and Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very nice question. Well, the dedication, you can do it that the first 5 rounds, you can start with Panchatattva. That's how we do it. We start with Panchatattva. That is, first we dedicate to Srivas, then to Gadadhar Prabhu. First round to Srivas, then Gadadhar, then Advaita Acharya, then Nityananda, then Lord Chaitanya. 5 rounds done. Then we come to the Ashtasakhis. The next 8 rounds dedicated to the Ashtasakhis. Lalita, Vishakha, Indulekha, Rangadevi, Sudevi, Champakala, Tatunga, Vidya, Suchitra, all of them. All 8 Sakhis. Then the next 2 rounds to Radha Madhava. So that is 5 plus 10 is 15 rounds done. And then the last round you do to Lord Nrsingadev. That way you can do. And your next question was on surrender.
Yeah, how to surrender. See, you told now I will chant one mala in Narsingadev's name. But surrendering means how to surrender. What does that exactly means?
Surrender means when you're chanting, surrender means just listen to the holy name and leave the control. don't just focus on listening and allow the holy name to manifest itself in whatever way. Just receive the mercy of the holy name while listening to it. That is surrendering to the holy name. Surrender to Krishna means surrender to the sound vibration of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because Krishna is present in the sound vibration. We don't realize that, but when we are chanting, when we are praying during Hare Krishna mantra, we are praying to the sound vibration. It's not like sound vibration is Hare Krishna mantra is here and Krishna is somewhere else to whom we are praying. And the sound vibration is going to Krishna. No, this sound vibration is Krishna. We are praying to the sound vibration. We are surrendering to the sound vibration because this is Krishna. Theoretically, we need to accept that, and then Krishna will reveal himself as the sound vibration. So, to surrender to that sound vibration, which is Krishna, is to hear it in a prayerful mood. That's all. That's all we need to focus on. Very simple. Focus on that one mantra of the sound vibration, one holy name that we are just now chanting, and try to hear it in a prayerful mood. That's all.
And also the
Prabhu,
way
why did you ask?
I
Yeah.
think your question also is that how can we dedicate? How do we actually dedicate our japa each round to each of these personalities? So when
Yes,
we
ma'am.
are chanting at the head beat, we just think in our minds. When we are chanting at the head beat, when we are saying Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, that time we just say Srivas Thakur, this round is for you, dedicated to you. And then we just start chanting.
Okay,
That's
Mataji,
all.
why I asked this question is, see, when we started chanting, no, we used to do like in the family members' name and all those things we used to do. So our Shiksha Guru told, no, no, that 16 round you have to do for yourself. So today when I heard we have to dedicate, I was not knowing like what it is. That is what my question. Now I got the answer for it, Mataji.
Yes.
And one more thing I wanted to tell, the beauty of this Hare Krishna Mahamantra chanting. See, now when I'm chanting, you told to hear from both the ears. Though my mind runs thousand and odd times in the 2 hours, I get it back again to my ears. When I'm hearing, I can hear in both the ears. That is one thing. The realization of that is, see, before I used to read every day Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, and for some reason I don't know, I had given it up because of some material life. I will forget about it. Now the way it has become is, if I find even a single minute time, I want to give my time to Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and if I don't do, I will scream. I tell my mom, mommy, come soon, it is late. Means I was doing that before also. I understood this chanting and hearing started making me more attraction towards Bhagavatam, one thing. And not only that, I'm able to understand that. See, all the time I used to pray that I need to understand things in sequential manner. And it's all Guru and Gauranga's mercy and you, the lovely divine couple's mercy on us. Unconditional mercy. Really, we have got back that to us. And I realized now at least I'm in zero. I have realized, hope with your prayers and blessings, we will be able to add fractions or maybe decimals to our life every day. Thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Your sincerity has already taken you, you know, because you are so wonderful and your devotion is so wonderful. You're saying it's zero, but Krishna is standing there in front of your zero. So you
Hare
can see
Krishna.
what that makes. Krishna is one, the supreme absolute truth.
If you have more zeros, you add one in front, it becomes higher number.
You have as many zeros as you want. Best it is. Then Krishna will come and stand in front of all your zeros, making it all perfectly valuable.
One zero will become 10, two zeros become 100, three become 1,000, like that.
That is Krishna.
It's all Guru and Gauranga's mercy and your mercy, Mataji. I'll tell you, it is so wonderful. Life is so wonderful now. Now I feel I need to be more and more connected with Krishna. And all this time, one thing I wanted to tell. Of course, I'm taking little time. Please, devotees, forgive me. You told love. I love you, because after I start, before, for everyone, for everything, without the word love, I used to never end my conversation. That I had learned from my guru, that is material guru. He is Dr. Kotur and Pushpa Kotur. My madam, every time, whenever she used to end the conversation, she used to tell my love to you, I love you. So I had made it an habit. And after I came to Krishna consciousness, then I thought, no, I should not tell this word. That is what the feeling I had. Today in the class, when you told Krishna, I love you, we should tell, I was so excited, and I was so happy that all the time I was just missing that word. No, I did not know, can I tell I love you, Krishna? So when you told Krishna, I love you, you can tell. That is the time my heart just opened, Oh, thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji. My love to you, I can't tell, it is lots and infinity and koti. It is countless. It is unconditional flow of love to you for giving me love of Krishna. Hare Krishna. Dandavats Pranam, Prabhuji and Mataji.
You
Hare
so
Krishna.
thank you for your realizations. Hari Bol,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you, Hari Prasad Prabhu, for your realizations. Thank you, Vinita Mataji, and for your
Swarup Krishna
realization.
Prabhu has a question. We'll just come back to the others who've raised their hand, but we have one question here. Sometimes the chanting beads form a knot while chanting. What should be our understanding when this happens? A very interesting question. Actually, Srila Bhakti Vidya Purna Maharaj, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, who is very famously known in Mayapur as Gurukul Maharaj, he explained that when the beads get entangled when we are chanting, that actually shows that we are being inattentive while chanting. It is just a way to understand that we're not being attentive when we are
Become
chanting.
entangled in the material.
It just beads become entangled like that. So that's what it shows, basically. So we hope that that answers your question. Moving on, Lavanya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Koti Koti Pranam Mataji. I'm touching your lotus feet, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mataji, I don't know, we'll see Krishna or I don't know, but every day, 7 o'clock, I'll be waiting. As if we go to temple, Abhishekam is there, they'll open the curtain, they want to see anxiously. So 10 minutes before only, I'm waiting to see both of you, Mataji. Still end of the class. I should say, Dandavat, I should leave the group, Mataji. That much I attach it to you and Prabhuji. But really, I want to see both of you, Mataji. When you are coming to India, I'm really waiting for the day, Mataji. Mataji, I changed my chanting very, very much, Mataji. Actually, because of business, I'll be doing chanting like Prabhuji saying, indoor shopping. I'm doing seeing that and this I'll be doing chanting. Sometimes if I'll go to shopping also, I'm doing that Mataji. But morning I'm able to do 10 rounds Mataji. After that, if I'll not do, it will go still 11, sometimes 12. So how to manage, I don't know. But if I'll do on counter also, I'm not that much of satisfied. I'd be very happy doing chanting on chanting beats only. But even Vishita also, colleges are mostly open, Mataji. She is not even doing one round also. Please pray for her to do chanting, Prabhuji. Even Uday Prabhu is doing one round for Tulsi Maharani and one from Guru Maharaj without fail. Rest of the rounds, he's not giving that much of attention, is not getting time, Mataji. We should not say that we are not getting time, but please pray for us. We should do 16 rounds and we should serve you, both of you, Mataji. Please pray for all devotees, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your beautiful realizations. For whatever our prayers are worth, we pray for all of you every single day, and we'll continue to do so. Thank you so much, Lavanya Mataji. Prema Mai Parameshwari Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Mataji, till date I was, and now only I'm knowing that how bad I was. Really Mataji, whatever correct I was feeling, now only I realized that everything is wrong Mataji. Yes Mataji, just now, just like that I have taken this chanting. Not to chant, that's all. Now only I am realizing how important. I know Mataji, you are You have put so much effort to purify us. Because of your purity, we are able to realize, Mataji, our mistake. And then now I could understand that I have some faith that I can correct myself. Yes, Mataji, thank you so much, Mataji. I do not want to miss you or any of your class. I must thank my Guru Maharaj. Because of him, his mercy, only my Siksha Guru Prema Bhakti Mataji made you to connect you with your people. Thank you so much, Mataji. Please pray for our family, because I do not want to take much of your time, because everybody wants to say the realization. Really, Mataji, I have faith that one day I will serve Srimati Radharani in the whole Koranda. Thank you, Mataji. I'm sorry. I felt so much bliss, Mataji. So much bliss. I do not want to waste a single minute in this world. My material work is not allowing me. Anyhow, please pray for my family, Mataji. Not even chanting, not even thinking of chanting. Thank you so much, Mataji. I'm sorry. I know I have faith, Mataji. I have faith. You have made me to feel that there was bliss, Mataji, in this world itself. Thank you so much. I do not know any other words to say. Prabhuji, thank you. That's not Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our heartfelt prayers, for whatever little they may be worth, they are all for you and your family.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Shamala?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavas Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada, Jai Guru Maharaj. Mataji and Prabhuji, thank you so much for a beautiful Japa session. I really loved particularly this topic, like all the topics that was very beautiful, like whatever that you're taking. So I particularly love this Japa session because this is our basis and this is our aim, this is our end also. So it is so practical tips. It was very useful. I wrote down whatever that when you're saying the guiding, when you guide japa. So that time I noted whatever Prabhu says. So every day before chanting, I read these prayers. Hare, we are calling out, Oh Srimati Radharani, all merciful mother, personification of devotion, compassion personified, personification of love, who accepts us who we are, never judges us, accepts us with all our defects and gradually purifies us. To that most merciful mother, Hara Srimati Radharani, we are calling out, please listen to our plea and give us taste in chanting your beloved name Krishna. When we say Krishna, Krishna is the one who attracts our mind, attracting us so we can able to completely detach ourselves and focus at the lotus feet. Rama is the one who allows us to experience pure bliss and pure happiness. He is the one who gives joy in devotional service. Let us take these three beautiful holy names and immerse ourselves in the ocean of transcendental nectar. And the most one, I really love this prayer also, which both of you said, we are chanting and we are begging and we are praying. We do not deserve this mercy because we have not done anything to deserve this. Therefore, we are very grateful and thankful to Guru and Srila Prabhupada. And thanks to you also. This is the one I added. This is thanks to both of you for giving this very wonderful session. And I wrote more. I don't want to take the time, but from whatever the prayers that you have said, I wrote it down so that I recite this and set the mood for my chanting. And it was really working out. It was so wonderful. Every day, like, it was helping me a lot. And also whatever the affirmations that you have mentioned, that invite Krishna to our home of our heart. So whenever some guests come, we always, maybe when very enthusiastic, we do so many prasadam to invite them so happily. So similarly, so this one, like when I said that mood, setting the chanting that Krishna is going to come to my heart, so I have to invite him. So all these things, it was so helping me. And two things also, the Ainanda Tanuja Kingdom, I really specifically to this word, this Siksastakam verse, I keep on meditating on that. Ainanda Tanuja Kingdam Paditam Vishayeta Vampata Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sitatuli Sadrasham Chintaya. So I somehow or other fallen. So Krishna, only by your mercy, you can able to help me. So that verse I always meditate. And one more thing I want to share, Mataji, which has also helped me to motivate that Ayendra Prabhu statement, which he always says, every moment we doesn't know like when we are going to die. So we have to chant our every rounds that this is my last round I'm chanting, this is my last mantra I'm chanting, this is the last word I'm chanting. After that, I don't know. So that mood also, it motivates me. So thank you so much for both of you for your wonderful time. And I don't know, you also have 24 hours, we also have 24 hours, how you're managing everything and so nicely engaging everything and giving us so much. So blissful to have your both of your association. Please bless me and my family so that we all get the taste in chanting the holy name of Mataji and Prabhuji. Then the pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Shavala. Okay. Jitendra Prabhu.
Mataji, Dandavad pronouns Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji and Prabhuji. Vancha kalpa yascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Prabhuji and Mataji, please excuse me with my question, Mataji. Actually, yesterday's lecture I was listening regarding chanting. I was listening that by seeing our chanting, others must be pleased. The way we are chanting, everyone must be pleased. But if we are seeing the history, all the devotees, we are seeing that everyone was suffering. The Pandavas were suffering. The how it pleases to others, Mataji. The Prabhupada was suffering, and our Guru Maharaj is also suffering. So how does it please others? Such is what my ignorant question, Mataji.
Well, you see, even in that, this is also something that confused even Narad Muni. Because when Narad Muni came to see the Pandavas in the forest, when they were in exile, the Pandavas were in great ecstasy. And then right after visiting the Pandavas, Narad Muni came to Dwarka to see Krishna. And he told Krishna that, Krishna, what have you done to the Pandavas? You have hypnotized them by your love. Is vashikriyate. You have just hypnotized them. That even in so-called, so much of material sufferings, they are in ecstasy, just thinking about you. So, that is something that we need to understand, that even though there is apparently so much suffering, but how can we really know that the devotees are actually not suffering at all? They are actually in ecstasy, because the way they are seeing the suffering, the way they are reacting to the suffering, is that they are seeing that the suffering is actually a mercy of Krishna. It's coming from Krishna. Therefore, they are very grateful, because that suffering is giving them an opportunity to surrender more to Krishna, to depend more on Krishna. So they are not seeing it as an obstacle.
If Arjuna wouldn't have suffered that lamentation, we wouldn't have been benefited with Bhagavad Gita. If Maharaj Parikshit would not have suffered with that curse, we wouldn't have been exposed to Srimad Bhagavatam. If Srila Prabhupada wouldn't have gone through all of that austerity, we wouldn't have been here to even talk about it. So even if the Pandavas wouldn't have done all the things that they had to go through, and still they were so dependent on Krishna, we would not know how to deal with these challenges when they come to us. So even though there are they are apparently going through suffering. Internally, they are always grateful and very happy in their relationship with Krishna because of their advanced stage. And their external suffering helps others in their own Krishna consciousness and spreading Krishna consciousness. So in that sense, ultimately, it pleases everyone else's souls. It may not please everyone's mind, depending on the nature of the mind. It may not please everyone's body, but it's definitely pleasing everyone's souls spiritually.
So I hope this answers your question.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you very much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Prema Mataji has messaged me, Prem Vikas Prabhu and Divyangi, may I request you to please send a direct message to Prema Mataji with my number. She's requesting for my number. Could you please message her directly?
And if you want to know about the next programs and classes and things, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel Advaita Space Kala Sudha, or you can also join this Bhakti Mellows group. If you're part of this Bhakti Mellows group, you will keep getting the updates
for all of our classes. But I hope you will receive the number. Please let me know if you receive the number. Next, can we have Anjali Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Bol.
Feeling so happy and grateful that I could hear whatever little part, and feeling sad for whatever I missed. But I'll go back on the YouTube and keep watching. And yet when you flashed the 10 takeaway points today, I felt so happy. I felt I haven't missed anything at all. Because that was like the essence of the whole workshop, and it's really, really nice. And I mostly chant with Tulsi Devi, Tulsi Ji, and at a proper place. But I never thought of this figurative idea of big bhajan kutir that you spoke about. I want Mataji, please can you elaborate, Mataji or Prabhuji, about this bhajan kutir in the heart that you talked about?
Yes, I think in Japa session, in the session 5, we spoke about it in detail. But essentially, what it says is that in order to focus on the holy name, we are where our consciousness is. We may be sitting here, but if our consciousness is there in the marketplace or in the mall, we are there. If we are sitting here physically, but if our consciousness is in Vrindavan, we are actually there. We are where our consciousness is. So when we are doing the japa, we have to escape our mind, our intelligence, and our ego and everyone. And for that, if within our heart, of course, there should be a sacred space physically as well. But when we chant, if we can visualize ourselves going within our heart into a special bhajan kutir, where the mind, intelligence, none of them are allowed. It's all the thoughts and everything that's there, that bhajan kutir is repelling of all the thoughts. When it goes in, it has screening, and we go inside there, and there is just us and the holy name. In the bhajan kutir, there would be a wonderful throne on which the holy name is there, which is not different than Krishna, but we are specifically meditating on the holy name. And all the acharyas and our Guru Maharajas, Srila Prabhupada, they are there to help us, encourage in chanting. And there we're just crying our heart out, lamenting and yearning for Krishna's mercy, begging for Krishna's mercy. That bhajan kutir is that begging place, the crying place that we go in, and nothing else is allowed in there. So if we prepare our consciousness in that way, that okay, mind, now I'm going in this bhajan kutir. You're not allowed. None of the planning is allowed. I'm switching off the lights of my life and switching on the lights in the bhajan kutir. And with that consciousness, if we chant, we have already prepared ourselves. 50% of the japa focus would actually be that preparation. And it takes just few minutes, and if you less than few minutes. And if we do it every day, it'll just automatically happen when we chant the holy names. By practice, that will happen. And then we are now focused. There is nothing else in this world except us and the holy name. Nothing else is of any importance, especially in that time. And then when our japa is over, then we come out of it and then we switch on the lights of our mind and intelligence. But then in that bhajan kutir, we've gotten so much spiritual strength, that nourishment that we have received, that will give us the spiritual strength to deal with any challenge of Maya, any challenge in our material life, to still be focused on Krishna.
And also, if you listen to day 7 of the Japa workshop, that day we did the guided mantra meditation part 2, where we went into the bhajan kutir of our heart. So that can help also.
And cleaned the bhajan kutir of our heart.
We first cleaned the heart and then chanted it.
Hey, that's wonderful. And yesterday I felt was the culmination of the workshop when you shared your experiences of being with the different sannyasis in our Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. And can we have more of that nectar sometime?
Sure. Definitely.
Maybe we can have everyone else share their realizations, and then if there is time, we can
we'll
share.
Definitely share.
Thank you. Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this wonderful session.
Thank you. Thank you. Very grateful to you. Hare Krishna. Nandini Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam Mataji Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam.
Mataji, thank you for this great workshop, Mataji. Also, whenever I want to get guidance about chanting from others, they always tell, chant attentively, that's all. But how attentively, I did not know these days, Mataji. Also, always they tell that don't chant like this, don't chant like that. All these instructions will be coming, but how to chant, what are the do's in chanting? Now only I came to know, Mataji, from these sessions.
Wonderful.
That was very much informative, and also we have to. I'm practicing to just apply it in my japas, all the japa affirmations, because they are very much wonderful japa affirmations.
Right.
Make my japa strong every day.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you, Mataji.
We're glad that this workshop helped you. And these japa affirmations are by His Grace Mahatma Prabhu. So you can look at some videos about Mahatma Prabhu's Japa workshop also. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. I have planned to make a note of that. I have planned to summarize all the 10 sessions. That is each topic separately. That is Japa affirmations alone. I have to write in some book, and also stages of bhakti alone and ways of not chanting Japa alone. I have to go
we will be
once again.
sharing actually the wonderful team of devotees that we have, who are helping us in making the small snippet videos, of which we will be sharing in the Telegram group. So we request all devotees to please join the Telegram group. Hema Mataji, if you can again, please put the link of the Telegram group. There's 3 devotees who are wonderfully working together to bring these small video snippets, and they are Rajeshwari Mataji, Hema Mataji, and Benita Mataji. All 3 of them working so wonderfully, very talented devotees, and they are going to be actually doing the 20 affirmations in one video. They will be putting it together, and the 32 ways of not chanting japa, they will be putting it into one video. They're planning in that way. So you will see the videos coming out very soon in the next 2-3 days, but please join the Telegram group so that you can get these small video snippets please join the Telegram group.
And
I'll
also,
join Mataji. Which,
Okay.
the link which you sent yesterday, I have joined in the Telegram group, Mataji.
Wonderful.
Also received collections, very wonderful collections.
Wonderful. It's all glories to them. They are doing all the work. We are not doing anything there.
also in the Japa Workshop Day 1, if you see the PDF from there, which was shared in the Bhakti Mellows WhatsApp group, there all the 32 affirmations, 20 affirmations are there. So if you want it in one place written, then you can go to that Japa Workshop Day 1 PDF.
You know, the PDF files that we share, so it's there. You can get it
I
from
missed
there.
the first day workshop, Prabhuji. For some reasons, I have to go early to office. That's why I missed the first day workshop.
No problem, no problem. If you go to the PDF, which is there,
where we share the slides, there you can see the slides that are there in the day 1 workshop. You'll get all the affirmations written down together.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji.
Hare
For such a wonderful sessions. All the sessions were very wonderful. But I was not able to release these sessions because it was in the morning time. I have to do my household duties.
Yes.
So I have to play it once again and release the joy.
Thank you so much, Nandini Mataji.
Hare
It's
Krishna.
a pleasure
Hare
to
Krishna.
see you and hear from you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Krishna Sharanam Prabhu, Mataji, and all the other devotees who have shared their beautiful realizations. Meena Mataji, Nutan Mataji, Surya Prabhu, all of you, thank you so much. Rasika, thank you so much for your, maybe request you, Divyangi, to please, if you can take some screenshots and, please send us these realizations. We'd love to hear them.
There is one Prabhu, he is asking whose disciple we are. So, although of course we are all Srila Prabhupada's family, and it really doesn't matter which guru. We are all the Guru Vargas, all disciples of Srila Prabhupada are worshipable to us as our own spiritual master. But then His Holiness Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj has mercifully accepted me in 1997 Gaur Purnima, and Kala Sudha has been accepted by His Holiness Srila Jayapataka Maharaj in 1995 at the age of 12. 14. At the age of 14, yes. So, yeah, but then, we consider everyone as our Shiksha Gurus, and we learn from everyone.
But thank you all so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, I'm already on Telegram. I'm just wondering how to find you there.
There's the group link that is being shared here. Can you just click on that?
In the chat.
In the chat?
Zoom chat.
In the Zoom chat, the link has been shared, Champaka. Can you check that out?
Sure. Yes,
otherwise,
I
I'll
see the
send
link.
it
I'm
to
going
you.
to click on it.
Let me know, otherwise I'll send it to you.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you.
No, I see the link. I'm about to click on it.
Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay. Any
Hare
other
Krishna, Prabhuji and
comments?
Mataji.
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
Prabhuji and Mataji, the Savita here. I wanted to know ideal husband and wife workshop, when it is coming and timings, because I have to plan my holidays, if that is the case, to take during that time. Can you help me out in that regard, Mataji and Prabhuji?
Sure. Actually, very good that you asked this question. This coming week is the Gita Jayanti week. So we will be having no classes for the next 4 days. We will take a small break for the next 4 days. We will come back to you 2 days before Gita Jayanti. So 3 days of Gita Jayanti, that is 23rd, 24th, and 25th. So 3 days of Gita Jayanti, we will do sessions. And 23rd and 24th on Wednesday and Thursday, but it'll be India time, it'll be Thursday and Friday. So Wednesday and Thursday US time, we will do it in the evening. We will have special sessions for which we will send out notifications to all of you. And What we are going to do on the third day, on the Gita Jayanti day, which is the 25th, is that we will have, the Gita Parayan. We will read Bhagavad Gita, all the 700 verses together. And in the end, we can all participate in a yajna that Prabhu will be performing, a yajna. So all of us can participate in that. That will be 25th is Gita Jayanti even in India. So that, and 25th is Gita Jayanti for us here in the US also. So that our timings will match, we decided to do it in the 25th US time in the morning, which will be 25th evening time for India. So like that, we will send out notifications, and we hope that you will be able to join us. And the Grihastha workshop sessions will be the week after that, in the New Year's.
That will be for how many hours program, Mataji, every day? It is 3 days or something you told, no?
Yes, the Grihastha workshop session will be probably a 2 or 3 day session. We are thinking whether we should do it over a weekend or whether we should do it over weekdays. We will be actually sending out a survey very soon, so that you can choose your selection, because many devotees have reached out to us to do it on weekdays. Some are saying weekends. So we want to get some feedback from all of you. So we'll be sending out a survey. So please do fill out the survey and let us know
whether the last week of December, or should we do it in the new year? Because
no, Prabhu, before New Year comes. Before New Year comes, we want everything in this Corona year only. It is a bless for us devotees. So let us do it in this year only.
Continue in the new year also.
Yeah, that we will continue with new. So many other workshops are in line, no?
Yes. So, but we will send out the survey form that even you can choose your weekend, which weekend or which week you prefer, and also, what time?
It could be either 4 hours a day for 2 days over a weekend, or it could be 2 hours over 3 days, something like that, on weekdays. So which ones are better? Because sometimes some workshops like these, and these will not be available on YouTube or Facebook. It will be just a private workshop on Zoom itself. So that's something which we are thinking about, because sometimes workshops, if we have continuous 4 hours workshop, it with breaks in between, it helps. But that helps mostly when there's an in-person workshop. Online, don't know what weekends, what is everyone's schedule, and it's towards the end of the year. So that's why we are looking at a survey.
So we'll be sending out this.
Yeah. What I feel is that long hours, 1 or 2 day workshop is more convenient. Why I'm telling this? Because I'm a working lady. If we are planning to take leave, we can take 1 or 2 days leave and we can do it completely. And if it is spreaded over long duration, then we are always longing to be with you, the divine couple, to be a couple like you in our life, at least from now onwards. So we wish to have it in a long session, and you can take the voting of the devotees, and we can go by it, Mataji.
Yes, we will send out the survey soon. So in the next 3-4 days, although we will be not, seeing each other live, but we will be having a lot of interaction over the WhatsApp groups. So please stay tuned over that. And
sure, Mataji. We are always looking for your voice and your message. Everything we'll be looking for. If you miss 1 or 2 days, that weekend for 2 days you were not there, I felt I'm totally left out from Krishna. I felt.
Hare Krishna, Savita Mataji. Love you so much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. My love to both of you. Hare Krishna. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. Krishna loves all of us, so he has put all of us in one basket. Birds of the same feathers flock together. I'm like Kirti's question. My God, she asked why. Today also one of the Prabhu asked, why devotees are troubled. This is, we need to understand there is nothing like trouble. It is all because of our mindset. So once we give our mind to Krishna, everything goes off.
Yes.
That's what I have understood. Yesterday also the Kirti's question, Prabhu answered so well. Oh God, it was too much. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji and Mataji. Hare Krishna. All
Krishna Sharanam Prabhu, you had raised your hands.
Krishna Sharanam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
I have one question.
Yes.
Krishna is so beautiful. He has a beautiful form. He has a beautiful dress, beautiful flute. You know, I mean, all the decorations and peacock feather on his head. He looks so beautiful. But when we chant, you know, we concentrate only on the holy name, not the form and the figure and everything. So I don't understand that. You know, when you chant, we are only concentrating on the name, not on the form or the figure or everything.
Yes.
Can you just, you know, explain me that, please?
Yes, very good question. Actually, it is said that Nama Rupa Gun Leela, name, form, qualities, and pastimes. When we chant the holy names, then Rupa, the form of the Lord, is revealed from the holy name. When we become advanced in chanting, that's when Nam Rupa, from name, the form of the Lord is manifested. Then we continue chanting, then the qualities of the Lord are manifested in the devotee. Nam Rupa Guna. And then when we continue chanting the holy names, then the pastimes of the Lord will be manifested automatically. That's what we have to aspire for. But while chanting, all this manifests while we hear. The holy name has to manifest it, rather than us trying to artificially focus on the form, artificially focus on the lila while chanting. We can focus on the form and the lila and the qualities when we are not chanting. That's okay. But while chanting, if we are focusing on form and the lila and artificially, then that could lead to a distraction, because before being qualified, if we are just focusing on the form of the Lord while chanting, and if we are saying, okay, oh, wonderful lotus feet of the Lord, so nice, then we look at the dhoti of the Lord, it's pitambar vastra, so beautiful, and we are chanting at that time, and suddenly we remember, oh, my dhoti, I had kept it for wash. Is it dry? I have to put it in the dryer. And then from dryer, it goes to another work. And then we get completely distracted into some household thing, into some thing of our own life, because our mind is still selfish. Our mind has not become completely selfless and absorbed in Krishna. And so artificially meditating on the pastimes, we may start meditating on the pastime, but then it may get distracted into somewhere else. The mind can go there. So until the mind is trained to hear the holy name, and the holy name feels us qualified, that as soon as we chant and hear, boom, the form of the Lord manifests through the name. The name has to manifest it. Then it is substantial. Then it will stay with us. Our mind will not get distracted. But if while chanting we artificially focus on the form or something, then we get distracted from hearing the holy name. Does that address your question?
How can we tell whether it's a real manifestation or just our imagination?
If it stays with us without our mind getting distracted into our own selfish life, then, and it will be it when we are also, the second symptom is when we are, if the holy name is manifesting, the holy name will be very clearly, we will still resounding while we are while we are having darshan. If while having darshan we feel that we have stopped hearing the holy name, then the holy name is not manifesting.
And also without any effort.
Yeah.
Without any effort from our side, if the Lord is automatically manifesting, and which happens, you know, when we are sincerely chanting, it is many devotees experience, even personal experience from us, that, you know, we have glimpses of the beautiful lotus face of Krishna, you know, beautiful lotus hand of Krishna, you know, just playing on his flute in that way, tending his calf. You can have some visions, but that vision, how much it is lasting, and how much are we then putting an effort to continue that vision? If we are putting an effort to continue that vision and putting secondary to listening to the holy names, then there's a problem.
Because when the holy name manifests, you cannot ignore hearing the holy name. That will be resounding during the darshan as well.
So we hope that answers your question.
Before, when I chant, the mind keeps going everywhere, and it looks for like scenes, I mean, when the mind goes, there is a vision. So to control that, I used to, instead of my mind going somewhere else, I just bring my mind onto a, deity form or deity picture or deity, the shape. So that's how I used to control my mind. Keep, instead of the mind going other places, bring it back to the deity form. That's how I used to do that. But now, since this Japa session, I'm trying not to visualize anything and just concentrate on the holy name.
Yeah, and Prabhu, one thing which you can try and do, because we do that and it really helps us a lot, is try and keep a printout of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra where we are chanting. And, try to, meditate on the form of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. When we do that, that also, just when we are saying Hare, look at Krishna, the mind automatically then sets in seeing the forms of written of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
The deity of the holy name. And you can focus on the deity of the holy name. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he makes it, he authorizes that he used to also read the holy name while he was chanting, or focus on the form of the holy name, which is the Hare Krishna mantra, while he was listening to the holy name. So that we can do, and that will definitely help in hearing the holy name much better. So if you want to focus on something, to see something, then better to have the holy names. But if by looking at the deities, if you are able, it helps you in hearing the holy name, go for it. I mean, it's not an offense to have darshan of the deity. Of course, it's so wonderful to have darshan of the deity, but while having darshan of the deities, if we are able to, it helps in hearing, then it's okay. But that you will be the judge, whether it's helping to hear or whether it's distracting us from hearing. And maybe we are glorifying some other attributes of the Lord other than hearing. But from hearing, it's a distraction. That's holy name means hearing. So while japa, at least, you have to decide. If it helps you in hearing, go for it.
I think it did help me because, when I visualize, I look at the deity, I look at one eye and say Hare, the mantra, and then I look at the other eye, I say the mantra, I look at his feet, the left feet, right feet. It's not like that, not like I'm looking at the whole figure at one time. I'm looking at each part and repeating the mantra,
So if it helps you in hearing, no problem.
Yes.
The focus should be, it should help in hearing. And different devotees have different ways which help them in hearing. So that's what it is.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. So, Anjali Mataji had requested yesterday to have darshan of the deities. So we'll just take, all of you upstairs with us, quickly give you all darshan, and then we can end today's session. Okay.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
So there are Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Devi, Lakshmi Narasinghadev, Shri Srinitai Mayapur Chandra, and this is Mayapur Narsingadev's nail, lotus nail from Lord Narsingadev in Mayapur. This is Parampara Acharyas, Shri Shri Panchatattva. This is Panchatattva deities. And there, sorry, this is Tribhanga Lalita Madan Mohan Krishna. This is Krishna. His name is Tribhanga Lalita Madan Mohan Krishna. This is Krishna Balaram. Jai Shri Krishna Balaram Ji ki jai. So this is our altar. This is Padukas of our spiritual masters and Srila Giriraj Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Beautiful altar, Mataji. Beautiful.
Thank you.
See, this is amazing, unbelievable, beautiful.
Beautiful altar, Mataji. Beautiful altar.
Thank you.
It's like being in the spiritual world, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for the wonderful divine darshan.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Your whole
Mataji.
house is looking like a temple. The
Thank you,
whole house
Mataji.
is like
Very
a temple.
beautiful home you have made.
Beautiful. So nice.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
We
Thank
all
you.
try to emulate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
All right.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you all so
Thank
much.
you all. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Thank you all
Hare
so
Krishna,
much.
Mataji Prabhuji. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji Prabhuji.
Krishna, Dandavat
Thank you
Pranam.
so much.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna,
so much.
Dandavat Pranam,
You
Mataji
did all
Prabhuji.
the lovely temple, lovely temple.